All right, so that was a crazy race. It is freaking awesome. It's one of the best races I've ever seen. Really tight race. Aden did actually he raced extremely well. He did come in eighth, and there's a very specific reason why. I've got Aden right on the other line, but if you like what Mongoose is doing, then please share, please like, please follow. Also support Aden and Calishine if they're making themselves exceptionally accessible to the Hmong community. So your name or Kongwa Aden or number one, Batonga Aden and Calishine because they're making themselves very accessible. But they're doing it anyways because they love the support from the community and they give so much back to the community. Without further ado, where Aden is, the Wi-Fi is really, really bad. So if he cuts out, then we'll just continue on. Aiden, so I thought that you raced you did a crazy job. Everyone, we had a little live session and they were there was a lot of people at some point because they didn't quite understand what I was doing. But live feed, you weren't there. We were watching you very closely. You know, cũng có cho tài gì cũng có chia but at least là nó không bảo được okay so Aiden saying yeah there's bây giờ hiểu okay so we call it the
Yeah.
Aiden supporters we're here cheering you on. It was a really good race. You came in eighth. When I remember watching, but because you'll rewatch the footage obviously, but that part of the race, it's kind of like it looks like everyone was neck and neck, like it was like 10 of you guys all smashed together, and then I couldn't find you anymore, and you're like, well, where's Aiden? He's somewhere. Tell us how did it go for you? What happened?
Yeah, so thank you, Long, first of all, for sharing the race to the fans. I really appreciate that. Um, the race went very well. We got a pretty good qualifying. We got a pretty good start. I think off the start, I was holding fourth for fifth right off the first lap. So good. Uh, laps, good. I had in the bike. I had a lot of confidence, and unfortunately, we got drafted by on that last lap, and we just couldn't catch up. But that's racing, and that's something that we all have to deal with. All the riders, they rode hard, they rode smart. I guess it just wasn't my day, but I got a lot of confidence for tomorrow.
Your dad had mentioned to me that there may have been an issue with the injector. What
Yes.
was the case?
Yeah. So towards the end of the race, I believe towards the second to last lap, my bike started to lose power. It wasn't anything really noticeable at first until the last lap. That's when I really started to feel the bike was losing power. So one of the fuel injectors actually popped off, and
Wow.
as right now, we're trying to find a spare fuel injector from the
Oh,
so I'm crossing my fingers, so we can ride tomorrow because we come out really far. We invest a lot of time to getting here, a lot of money getting here as well. So I know the team, they're gonna try their hardest to find that replacement for my bike so we could go out and ride tomorrow.
well, it was a crazy race. I love that point where you decide to take the lead. You actually got a pretty good space. You couldn't see obviously, but we could see there was definitely a sizable gap. But just the nature of that track and all the turns, they catch up really quick. But it was very exciting to see, and it's kind of like, gosh, at one point they were saying like the first place changed hands like maybe probably like 15 to 20 times. So it was really
Mhm.
exciting to see, and congrats to all the racers that did place. I think the way it was raced today, man, it looked like anyone could have won. Like the first
Yep.
place winner from previous races, Max. I mean, he was just ahead of you. I mean, he went from basically unanimously first into seven. I think he was seventh. And so, congrats to you. And who it was exciting. If I can only imagine for us watching, I mean, you and the bike, it must have been crazy, very
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. It was. it was a very intense race. One of the most intense races that I've ever been in. We had about a 10 rider pack. Fighting for first place. It's
Yeah.
anyone's. That's the one thing I love about this sport is that you could be from first and dropped all the way back to 10th. Kind of like what happened to me earlier today. But that's just the nature of the game, and that's something that we all have to deal with. And it's all about positioning where you position yourself on that last lap. And I guess unfortunately, it just wasn't the right spot at the right time. Uh, it was
Do
it
you
was
mind if we take a second to look at the map?
Yeah, of course.
So, thank you for schooling me on writing because I don't know any writing, but um, I love you guys, Calishine and Aden, because pretty much whenever I ask questions, you guys more or less answer them. So here we've got the map here. Let me bring it down a little bit. Let me get back on here really quick. So right here is so this is where a lot of the action occurs at 14 because
Yep.
that's the most part. But where would you say are the other major places where people were passing?
I would say turn 5.
Right
So the
here.
left-hander, turn 5. If you watch the races, it was very sketchy. Going into turn 5, there was times where we're doing 120 something miles per hour, and
Wow.
we have our elbow, and we're rubbing against each other. We're trying to tell each other, hey, back off, back off. There was a few times where a lot of us, we made contact. Nothing crazy, but we would touch each other. My head will hit the other person's bike, or their bike will hit my
Wow.
bike. But we're all professional riders. We have the skill to ride like that at those high speeds. We're very comfortable with each other. We trust each other. That's the main thing. We have a lot of trust with each other to ride at those speeds, that close with each other. And man, it gets your heart going. Even today, for how long I've been riding, for all the experience that I have, it still gets my heart going. And that's something that I really like.
We can't tell on this map, but you know we don't know the track well enough when we're watching it. Other than when I see the carousel, I know it's the carousel right down here.
Yeah.
But where is it on this map? Where is it uphill and downhill?
Going up to 5 where we were just at,
Right here.
from
This is
yes, from turn 5 going up to turn 6 is uphill,
oh,
and the carousel, that's actually going downhill.
this is downhill.
Yes, so that's
Wow.
down. It might not look like it on TV, but it is a very big drop downhill.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm not going to keep you long because we need you rested for tomorrow. But it's a pleasure watching you. I love what you do, and I think a lot of people are loving what you do. Hmongoose, let's create some energy, some excitement. Hmong support 嗰陣時，係呀，依家你 support 嗰陣時，你接保地要 support 你㗎。And
Mm.
so I think there's a lot of ways to support you, but number one, more importantly, is just to be educated about what you're doing, because it's hard to respect what you're doing if you don't have an understanding of what's going on. I think until people see a bike fly by at 160, they won't appreciate how fast you're really riding. And so, I thank you for all you do, and I thank all the people that are here supporting you also because 有節目個我知道吧，有節目就俾日本人冇睇過啲嘢，it'd be one a little thing harder, and I think that in the future 有冇能啲啥 donate 到個or sa sponsor 個 then we'll try to make that as easiest for them as possible. Anything you want to share with us before we part ways and you guys work on that bike some more?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you, Long. I know you're very, so thank you for taking your time. And tomorrow we're actually gonna have rain. So tomorrow is gonna be a very interesting
And
day.
you smile at rain,
Tomorrow,
don't you?
yeah, tomorrow's gonna be very interesting. Rain could be good or bad.
Hmm.
A lot of riders love rain. I personally don't mind rain.
Hmm.
A lot of riders hate the rain. So tomorrow's gonna be a whole different type of race. Today's race
Hmm.
is something that happens all the time, but us as racers, we don't have the opportunity to ride in the rain as much as we would like. So it's gonna be very different.
So you'll put on your rain tires. It's we know for sure it's gonna rain.
Oh yeah, it's a guarantee.
It's a guarantee. So it's gonna be very different. So in the morning, then you get your practice ride, right?
That's correct.
And then after that, you'll do your race, and you're starting P6 again.
Yes, I'll be starting P6 tomorrow. We gotta throw on the rain tires. I gotta change my visor. We gotta go with the clear visor. The whole geometry of the bike is going to change. Um,
Wow.
the base setup of it, the suspension, everything is gonna have to change for the rain, and I'm really excited about it. You know, like I mentioned before, rain bad.
Hmm.
It could either be a blessing or something that doesn't turn up very well. And that's like I mentioned earlier, that's just the nature of the sport, and I'm very excited for it tomorrow.
There were some clips of the track that I watched earlier today. There's some little dips and areas where I think water can collect on that track too.
Oh yeah. I rode here in the rain before. Turn 5 tends to collect a lot of rain, and corner number that is, but it's called Canada Corner.
Hmm.
It's the right hander, so that one
Hmm.
collect a lot of water as well. So
All right. Well, it's gonna be interesting. Aiden, we got your back. We got your back. We're rooting for you, and win lose, we're all behind you. And let's get. If we don't get in the podium, then let's get as high up there as we can, and let's represent and know that we're here supporting you, and we're praying for you too, Aiden, for your safety. And so
thank you.
we're behind you in every way. All right, Aiden, have a beautiful night, and if everything goes well, and if you're free, then we'll talk again after tomorrow's
Yep.
race. Hopefully, after your speech on the podium.
All right, sounds good. Long and
Okay.
one
All right.
last thing, I'd like to
Sure.
thank all of the Hmong people that came out today. I had a
Oh,
few events to go to before for this race weekend, and I was actually able to grab a few of the Hmong fans to come out and watch this weekend, and I want to thank each and every one of them. We had a good amount of Hmong people that came out to support this weekend, so I'd like to thank them. One last time before we say goodbye.
nice. Okay. All right. Nothing
All
but
right.
love from Hmong people in Wisconsin today. Aiden, blessings to you.
Thank you, Long. I'll talk to you
Okay.
soon.
Shinji.
All
Okay.
right.